pod bay doors.
Greetings and welcome to another exciting episode of The Cinematic Traveler. I am your intrepid movie exploring host, Chris, and on this episode, welcome to the Jurassic World Rebirth review. Scarlett Johansson in a tight shirt, getting chased by dinosaurs. Why are my shorts getting very tight now? Yes, we are going to talk about the latest in the Jurassic World franchise. Oh, they just won't let it die. Even the dinosaurs went extinct, yet this franchise just carries on. This one is directed by Gareth Edwards, no stranger to monster movies, with his, was it 2014, I think, Godzilla. He also did Rogue One, or at least part of it. He did The Creator that came out not too long ago. So what can he deliver with this franchise? Well, before we dive into that, I have to do what every YouTube podcaster does. Please follow, subscribe, rate, review, leave comments, all that crap. You know exactly what to do. Also, you can follow me on social media. The best way is Instagram at Cinematic Traveler Pod. Or I have an email address, thecinematictravelerpod@gmail.com. There, I got all that out of the way. I hope you're doing well out there, my beloved listener, as the heat rises, but the temperatures in the movie theaters continue to stay perfectly cool. Before we officially get into things, I didn't do it on the last episode, and I do want to apologize. I did have a couple of people listen to my Jaws episode, and when I say a couple, I mean a couple. But they did participate in that trivia section of that episode, so I did want to thank them and congratulate them. One is faithful listener ZW, and the other is friend of the show and fellow podcaster. That would be Frank from Reels of Cinema. They played along, and they did very well in the contest, so all I can say is...
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
And thank you. All right, so we're going to do something a tad bit different with this movie because, well, because it's Jurassic World Rebirth, the 7th in the franchise, so you kind of know what you're going to get with this movie. So when I get to my review, I'm going to change a couple of little things. I hope I don't keep you very long. I also didn't write up a plot synopsis, so we're just going to go top of my head on this one. I will let you know in my plot synopsis, I will hide a movie quote if I can pull one from the rear of my brain to the front of my brain. And if you can identify the movie that movie quote is from and get in touch with me, like I said, Instagram's the best way to do it, at Cinematic Traveler Pod. My email address, thecinematictravelerpod@gmail.com, or in the comment section, I will find the answer. But I will give you a point for getting it right. At the end of the month, I add up all the points. Whoever wins gets to pick a movie for me to review the next month. Oh my God, how exciting. How exciting. That is more exciting than the first time you saw that Brontosaurus walking across the grass with Dr. Alan Grant. So play along, have some fun. I know it seems a little uncool, but that's the best time of the week. That is to be uncool with Chris. And if you see me in this video, you realize I am really being uncool right now. So let's go ahead and get this over with, shall we? So we start off Jurassic World Rebirth with, I guess, a flashback. It's like 17 years earlier. There is another research facility making more mutant dinosaurs. And of course, wouldn't you know it, through one of the dumbest things you will ever see in a movie, the system goes haywire and one of them escapes and wreaks havoc on this research center. Now we flash forward, we're in New York, 17 years later. There is a Brontosaurus that is blocking up traffic in New York City. Oh, don't you hate when that happens? And we meet rich pharmacy guy, played by, I'm not going to even bother. And he has recruited a mercenary. I think her name is Zora, but really it's Scarlett Johansson. So for the rest of this review, I shall call her ScarJo. But ScarJo is not too keen to head back to an island, the research island, so they can get samples of blood from dinosaurs to make some kind of drug to do something to help somebody. Why they can't just do it to the dinosaurs that are right there? I mean, there's a brontosaurus right there in traffic. Get the blood from it. But at any rate, she's not too keen. But rich pharmacy guy throws a big number at her, and Scarlet Joe says money talks and dino shit walks, so she's in. Then they head off to a museum and they recruit dinosaur scientist guy who doesn't think he's going, but then obviously he gets to go because you saw the preview and there he is. So off they go and they fly to an island and they meet, I think his name is Duncan, who drives the boat, played by Marshala Ali, collecting a paycheck. Good for you, buddy. A 2-time Oscar winner, and well, we'll get to that later. At any rate, they decide with their mercenary team to head out to the island to start the process of collecting these samples. There is also a very stupid family out there in a sailboat near the dinosaur island for some reason, and guess what happens? Oh my god, the ship gets attacked by dinosaurs. So they have to get rescued. The only ship in the area, of course, is our mercenaries, and they pick them up and they head to the island where they are intercepted by water-dwelling dinosaurs. This is one of the dinosaurs that they have to collect a sample of. But as the dinosaurs get closer, ScarJo says something like, "You're going to need a bigger boat." Hint, hint. Well, through a very fun and exciting scene, they do get the sample, but the boat is trashed. They're trapped on the island. People get separated. The mercenaries continue their mission to collect these samples while the family that has gotten lost is trying to get to the research center so maybe they can get rescued. Dinosaur mayhem ensues as people are eaten and chased and have to hide behind things, and T-Rex makes an appearance and weird mutant dinosaurs make an appearance until finally we get the end where a rescue helicopter is coming. However, the large mutated dinosaur from the beginning of the movie has escaped, I guess, or is roaming around, finally shows up, and it's gigantic and does a lot of havoc. And, well, will they escape this Jurassic Park? Or will our mercenaries, especially our main mercenary hero, ScarJo, be eaten by something that isn't me? Damn it. Why, God? Why? Well, I'm not going to spoil the movie and answer those questions, but I will give you maybe not the best, how about a review for Jurassic World Rebirth that you can find on a podcast or on YouTube. I'm really selling this episode. So as I mentioned earlier, I am going to do something a little bit different with this review because this movie basically falls into two camps. And really, if you fall one side or the other is how I would recommend going to see the movie. If you can turn off your brain to anything that involves logic, intelligence, a semblance of a plot, characters that you're interested in or care about. If you could turn all of that off and you just want to see dinosaurs chasing after people and eating people, then you'll like this movie. It delivers on that front. It looks good. The dinosaurs are scary when they need to be scary and cute when they need to be cute, so we can sell more baby dinosaur toys. But yeah, if that's what you could do, shut your brain off. Or if you're 8 years old and you just want to see dinosaurs eating people, then it fills that void. It doesn't bring much new to the franchise. Not that I expected it to. Which for some reason, and I normally don't watch other reviews before I do mine, I did slip up a little bit because there's a couple I really like and I wanted to see what they had to say. But some of them really, I guess, expected a lot out of this movie. I saw the trailer and I was just like, you know what? I would like to go see Scarlett Johansson run around and get chased by dinosaurs. That's pretty much what you get. So yeah, if you fall into that camp, you're going to enjoy this movie. I would recommend going to see it in a movie theater. As I mentioned, it looks nice. Gareth Edwards is very good at making a good-looking movie. Other stuff he's not good at is obvious here. Every time I see one of his movies, it makes more and more sense why they reshot so many scenes for Rogue One, because I'm sure that was a mess when he got done with it. But at any rate, yeah, it fills that void that you want for a dinosaur movie. And now in the other camp, if you cannot turn your brain off, if you want something logical or smart and not sit there and go, oh my God, why are these people doing this? Then you're not going to like this movie. It is, as I mentioned, it isn't anything original. Really, it copies a lot from Jurassic Park 3. There's a little bit from Jurassic World with the mutated dinosaurs, which I don't know why we have to have mutated dinosaurs. I kind of understood it in the first Jurassic World, but, you know, aren't there like 20 billion species of dinosaurs that existed on Earth? You couldn't find some new ones that we haven't seen and make them scarier? I wouldn't know. I'm not that smart. I'm an American. I don't know. All I know is T-Rex and Triceratops. But at any rate, I don't know why they have to keep going with the mutated. And this mutated dinosaur looks stupid. to be honest with you. And it doesn't really play a whole lot into the movie. It's not like, as I mentioned, Jurassic World, there was always that, was it the Indominus Rex? It was kind of always in the background, or they were always worried about it. This one, you see him at the beginning, and then you don't see him again until the end. So it really isn't that big of a threat. The other dinosaur stuff, again, you've seen it. You've seen the T-Rex chase people. You've seen, well, raptors. They don't have well, they do have raptors in this movie, but not like I like raptors. I wish there had been more of them, but instead they have the surrogate raptors doing what raptors do, chase people around in a little shop. Oh my god. It's similar to the scene with the kitchen in Jurassic Park. Well, this is in like a little food mart or something like that. I will let you know, if you watch this movie and you see that scene, you will want two things by the time that scene is done. You will want some Doritos and a Dr. Pepper to wash it down, because the product placement in that scene is ridiculous. But at any rate, yeah, that's just the same stuff you've seen all the time everywhere. You've got dumb characters. They try to give you some kind of motivation for ScarJo and Marshala Ali. It doesn't really go anywhere with that stuff. ScarJo's character goes from, I'm a mercenary who just wants money, I don't care, let's get the job done, to, I care about people, let's go rescue these people, let's go save them, back to, I just want the money, let's finish the job, back to, let's save people, no, I'm going to do the right thing. And it's, if she would have been more linear in her character arc, if that makes any kind of sense, if she just started out as, I just want the money, I just want the money. They have some backstory where she lost somebody on her last mission. So maybe you could have made that her driving force, where she's not going to lose the scientist guy. She's going to make sure he's going to survive. She's hell-bent on doing that. And then eventually she has to make choices and decisions to sacrifice people, or, that the people are more important than the product they're trying to get, or something like that. The same with Marshala Ali. He has this thing where he has lost his child when the child was young. So they try to, at the end, have him be like this protective parent-like figure for this family with their little kid. But, by the end, it doesn't matter. They've never been on the screen with each other, so who cares? Now, you could have had them get separated, and Marshala Ali is with the family, and that kind of becomes his character trait, that he is going to protect his family and he'll die trying and all that stuff. So you could have done different things to make these characters more interesting. Or you could have just cut the family out, because they didn't really add much to the movie. They were basically generic and stupid, because, like I said, at the very beginning, you're like, why the fuck are you in a sailboat near an island that has dinosaurs? It makes no sense, especially with your kids, you moron. But at any rate, you could have got rid of them, just had a streamlined 90-minute movie, and it would have been just fine. Because, like I said, a lot of it steals from Jurassic Park 3, and it's really in its execution. They try to bring stuff in to make you feel things from the other movies, but it just doesn't work, because we're not in the world of the first Jurassic Park, where nobody had seen dinosaurs. Now we got dinosaurs walking through the middle of New York City. So anyway, there's a lot of dumb characters, a lot of bad decisions, and a lot of things where it's just movie being movie, because we have to get from this point to the next point. I could go on. There's plenty of stuff. Oh my god, the raft scene where she opens the raft right next to the sleeping Tyrannosaurus Rex. How dumb do you have to be? Oh, anyway, we could just go on and on. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible for you, because really it's two camps. And if you can't ignore that stuff, you're not going to like this movie. I will say, for me, I fit in the second camp where the logic and the stupidity really hit me in the face. However, I did have my big toe dipped into the, I just like seeing dinosaurs chase people around, especially Scarlett Johansson in a very tight shirt. I know I'm a simple man. I also saw where she had an interview talking about the male gaze. Oh my god, the male gaze. Which was funny, because there are scenes in this movie where literally her shirt is stuck to her boobs. And not that I minded. I mean, boobs are my kryptonite. There were some scenes. Oh, there's one where she's wet because they just got off the boat. She has a very tight shirt on, and she's filling up most of the screen. And let's say the dinosaurs weren't the only giant monsters in the movie theater at that moment. So I tip my cap to you, Scarlett. You are still a very gorgeous woman. Why did you get married? Huh? You gotta play hard to get like that. But, the performances are fine and all that, but it just is what it is. If you see the trailer and you go, ooh, that looks fun, go watch it. If you see the trailer and go, my God, why are they doing that again? Stay as far away from it as possible. So how was that for my mixed review for Jurassic World Rebirth? I guess if you wanted to nail me down for a review, I think it's all right. It's not horrible. It just is what it is. Again, if you're going in for anything deep or not even deep, even like just slightly below the surface with a plot and character development, you're not going to get that. These are all paper thin. I mean, hell, you got characters, you don't even know their names. You just sit there and look at them and go, yep, you're going to be dying soon simply because we need a dinosaur to eat somebody. So, yeah, it's not great. But it does what it sets out to do as far as the dinosaur stuff. So anyway, that's kind of my wishy-washy review. I know it's not a great review on this film because it's not a great review. It's just what Hollywood is now. They don't really make movies that go beyond just slap the name of something on there that we recognize, and there it is. You'll go see it. And apparently they did, because the movie theater I was in was packed, unfortunately, with god awful people. There was a family, brought this little tiny kid, and every time a dinosaur ate, she'd scream out and just would talk to. I was like, oh my god. And then at one point I had to go to the restroom, and I got up and left. And then I came back in, the smell of body odor and probably popcorn farts just kind of punched me right in the face. And I'm like, this is why people don't go to movie theaters anymore. I actually sat there and thought, I could leave now and just wait for this to come out on some kind of streaming service and do a review then. But I was already halfway into it. And as I mentioned, Scarlett on the big screen in a tight shirt. I know, I'm just an awful man. I'm an awful man. I accept that. But yeah, don't look for the original Jurassic Park in any of these movies anymore. That was a lightning in the bottle kind of thing. Plus, it was directed by Steven Spielberg. Hell, he couldn't even do it. Jurassic Park 2 wasn't as good as Jurassic Park. I mean, that was just a brilliant film at the right time with the right combination of a new and emerging special effects and CGI combined with practical effects, with a master director and, John Williams' score and great cast and everything. So you're not going to get that anymore. This is what you're going to get. They're going to go, people like dinosaurs eating people. There's the movie. Who cares about the rest of it? And that's really the biggest disappointment. Nobody's really trying anything new or unique with this stuff. They just slap it together and go, here you go, same old shit. And people eat it up, so they'll make another one. Anyway, that's kind of a depressing way to end the show. But hopefully I didn't take up too much of your time. If you're still watching or listening, then I must have done something right. So if you could please, again, leave a review, leave comments, follow, subscribe to the show. You can get in touch with me again, Instagram at Cinematic Traveler Pod. My email address, thecinematictravelerpod@gmail.com, or in the comments and everything. Play the contest. At least get something out of this show. Oh my God, why do I keep doing this to myself? Why? I'm a glutton for punishment. Speaking of rehashed Hollywood shit to slap something on there, my next review will be for Superman. We're getting a new Superman movie next week. And much like the Fantastic Four movie coming up soon, the first trailer for each of those movies I was excited for, but each thing I've seen since then, I get a little bit less and a little bit less. So we'll see if there's any life left in these characters, these superhero characters, or if it's basically gone the way of the dinosaur, except in Jurassic World movies that keep going. God dang, how many can they make? All right, so come back next week for my Superman review. Now, before I go, I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my show. I tell everyone I know I've got the smartest and sexiest audience in all the podcaster YouTube universe, and you never fail to live up to those high standards. Now, as you are traveling around on this blue and green ball, bouncing through the cosmos, trying to avoid mutated dinosaurs, but hopefully getting rescued by Scarlett Johansson in a very tight shirt, I need you to do one thing for me. Go out there and do that voodoo that you do so well.
All right, show's over. I'm tired.